Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Lady Diane from Dark Support, and I would like to welcome you all on our seventh webinar. This is our product updates for the month of November. All right. So, by the way, guys, I'm really excited to show you the top three Enlight POS update and the top four Enlight mobile update. So, let's get started. This is a 20-minute presentation, 10 minutes of question and answers. You can ask any questions you have on the chat window called questions here. Session will be recorded for future reference and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. And answered questions will be replied to over email. Now, if you have specific issue with the app, please inform support at darkpos.com and we'll definitely arrange a private session to discuss it with you. Don't forget to follow us on social media to get the latest updates. So you can search us by simply typing Dark Pause Inc. to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Or on Instagram, you can also search Unlight POS. All right, so for today's topic, we have here for Enlight 10, we have the balance due on racking notifications, issuing and applying store credit by role, and time card notes functionality. While for Enlight Mobile, we have pay orders from customer app, locker support from customer's perspective, pick up notes, and give your driver a tip. Okay, so let's start with balance due on racking notifications. This setting and update is actually very helpful for us because this will now show the balance of this particular customer on the SMS and email notification. So that way, your customer will not ask you every now and then about the balance. And before they go to the store to pick up the order, then they already know how much is needed to be paid. Okay, so let me show you how it looks like for the notification with and without the balance due. Okay, so let's search for this customer, Claire Fraser, and then go to the notifications tab. So without this setting applied on the account, it now shows this particular message. Dear Claire, we hope this email finds you well. We just wanted to notify you that the items for your invoice are ready for pickup. It includes the ticket numbers. And please feel free to visit us anytime during our operating hours, Mondays to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you for your business. We look forward to seeing you soon. Sincerely, Dark Webinar Team. So as you can see here, with the default setting, it doesn't show the balance due. Okay. Same as with the SMS, it will just show the ticket number. Now, with the setting applied for email, here we go. It will now show the balance of the account, which is $29.45. All right, together with the ticket number. Same as with the SMS. Right, so from this one itself, this will now serve as a reminder for your customer that there is an amount that is needed to be paid. That's for the balance due on racking notifications. Next will be issuing and applying store credit by role. For issuing and applying store credit by role, this is now an option for you to choose which role will you allow to apply and issue a store credit. So let's say you would like just your managers to be able to issue and apply store credit, then that is already possible. You can also restrict employees to be able to apply and issue store credit for your customers. So let me show you how. Let's say I just would like my store managers to be able to apply and issue store credit. So if they use the manager pin, so let's say I'm using the manager's pin and I will now apply or issue a store credit. If I go to the credit history and click on issue store credit, I will be able to do that. So let's say I'm issuing $20 as a store credit for this customer. I'm putting my notes from here and then hit on apply. So I was able to do so. That is the same as if I am going to apply store credit as the payment for this customer. So if I go to Pick and Pay and go to credit, this one, I will be able to enter an amount. So let's say I'm entering here $20. All right, it will allow me to do so and just do it, apply it as a payment. Now, if I will be using an employee PIN, all right, since I, as an owner, my employees are restricted to issue and apply store credit. So if I go here, search for the customer and use a PIN of an employee, right? I'll go to credit history. See, the issue store credit here on the top right side is no longer showing. So there is no option for me to issue a store credit, not unless that I ask my manager to do so. That is also the same if I'll go ahead and pay for the customer's bill. So let's say I'm paying for the customer's account. If I go here on this part, right, it will not allow me to enter anything here. That means I cannot use the store credit as a payment for this customer. So there you go. That's for issuing and applying store credit by role. So again, you can now choose which role you would like to allow or you will allow to apply and issue store credit. All right. Lastly, for Nlight POS, we also have the time card notes functionality. We have two updates for the time card. First is that we can now allow our employees to be able to enter a note, all right? And we can also require them to enter a note before clocking out. So from here, if you will notice, this is now the box wherein you can enter your notes here, and this is the clock out clock out button. So if you will notice, without the notes, the clock out button is actually grayed out. So even if you click here many times, it will not allow you to clock out. So this is the setting wherein we required our employees to put in a note. That way, as a big business, all right, we would like to make sure that we can control and monitor our employees' activity. So they need to enter their activity here first here or their note before clocking out. So let's say your employee needs to clock out early. They cannot just simply clock out. Rather, they need to enter a note, like for example, for our we have doctor's appointment. All right, doctor's appointment, and then clock out. So from there, then it now allows the employee to clock out. At least you will now have later on our records of everything that was done. So I'm gonna show it to you. All right, this is actually not required for you to do so, but it's just an additional information if in any case you would like to check the activities of your employees for the time card. Okay, so let's say I'm entering the manager's pin here. We now have here a report. So if we go, like for example, we go weekly, and then the report type will be store and employees, and then select the report that's going to be employee time card, then hit on generate reports. You can now see here all of the activities, all right, that your employee has. So let's say for example this one, so it will show here the default cashier, the employee role, webinar employee. It will now show here every notes that they have, all right, for the time card or before clocking out. So if you would like to check, then you can just simply go here. You can also export it as an Excel file. I believe this is very helpful, especially if you're checking employees' background or their tardiness. If there is, then you can check their activities from this particular report. Okay, so that's it for the top three updates for Enlight POS. Now we can proceed with Enlight mobile updates. Okay, so I'm gonna switch my screen to the for the emulator that I have right here. This is actually my emulator for the customers app. Okay, so if you log in or if your customers log in to the customer app, the first update that we have is pay orders from customers app. Okay, so as you can see here, it now shows the pay order button. All right, which your customers can utilize. So I believe this is very helpful because not all of our customers would like to pay and provide their credit card information. Some do not want that. Some customers actually would like to pay on their end. So from here, if they log into the customer app, then they will now be able to see a pay order button. So if they click here, they will be able to select the orders that they would like to pay. Also, for example, this one, they can pay their orders with Google Play for Stripe, or if they have like the payment processor as Stripe, or they can also use their credit card. At the same time, there is also an option like if you would like your customers to do prepay when scheduling pickup, that can also be done. So let's say I'm going to schedule a pickup and I can detail my invoice from here. All right, so let's say $15.45, then schedule pickup. All right, there is now an option for me to pay for the order right away, right after scheduling it. So that's gonna be for the pay orders from the customers app. All right. Also, if you noticed a while ago, I know you've noticed this on your part with regards to the pickup notes. That's actually the second update that we have. So if your customers will now schedule a pickup, all right, there you go. They now have the option to enter like special instructions, all right? If they have promo code, where should they leave their bag, any door or any gate or door code, all right? So actually for this one, this is very useful for us business owners if you would like to know more information for the customer. All right. So anyway, these things here can be modified depending on you. So you can change it to whatever questions you have or whatever questions you would like to put. Then you can just simply notify us, and that way we can set it up to your store. All right. That's going to be for the pickup notes. At least you can gain more information about the order for this particular customer of yours. Also, all right, another update from Enlight Mobile is actually giving driver a tip. So some of our customers actually would like to give our drivers tip. So here, there is already an option for them to do so. If we activate that setting on your store, all right, they can actually give like if they don't want to, they can just simply select no tip, $2 or 10%. Anyway, this can be modified as well depending on how much and what range would you like to put in. So that can be done from here, and then they can just simply add it from the customer app if they would like to give your driver a tip. So there, it will show on the order the amount of the tip that will be given to your driver. All right. So that's going to be for our third update. And lastly, with the Enlight mobile app, we now have the locker support from customers' perspective. So if you have different lockers in different areas, then we now have an option for our customers to on the customer app, all right, to be able to drop drop items to your lockers. So all they need to do here, if you will notice, we have here drop locker. So if you click here drop locker, all they need to do is to enter the location or the locker ID, all right, or scan the barcode from the locker. That's going to be possible. So using their camera, of course. Let's say here I will enter or scan a barcode, all right? It will now automatically show the locker location here. So anything, as long as the code, the barcode is valid or the ID is valid, then it will automatically show here for the location. So here you can put in how many bags, all right? Your sorry, not you, but your customer can put in how many bags they have. Let's say they have two. Put in special instructions here, whatever instructions, like please use the doorbell, something like that. Then they can do that. If they have promo code, then they can simply enter the promo code here and then click on drop locker. Again, if they don't want the tip, then they can add or no. And then at the same time, if they would like to pay, that can also be done on the previous page. So there, your order has been created. So you can click OK. And that particular order number 32, is now ready to be detailed by you. So see, that's for the locker support from customers' perspective. If you do have lockers every on most places, then they can definitely drop their orders from there. It will be hassle free for them and for you as well. All right, so that's it for our Enlight POS and Enlight mobile updates. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learn and enjoy this presentation. It's now time for our question and answer portion. So, again, this is a 10-minute session. Remember to ask any question you have on the chat window called Questions Here. This session will be recorded for future reference and will be uploaded to your YouTube channel. All unanswered questions will be replied to over email. If you have a specific issue with the app, please inform support at darkpos.com and we'll arrange a private session to discuss it. Don't forget to follow us on social media to get the latest updates. You can simply type in Dark Pause Inc. for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right. So again, guys, I have here Valeria from our sales team, and she will help us with our question and answer portion.
Hi, lady. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have several questions, so I'm going to jump right into the questions. The first question is, the new feature to show balance on email, SMS, if there are multiple tickets, will the message show total or there will be different messages, one per ticket?
All right. Well, thank you so much, Valeria, for that very nice question. It will actually show the total balance on all open tickets, and it will show the specific ticket number. So let me show it to you exactly. Let me put here 1 second. And light POS and open to a customer. So let's say Fraser Clear. So if we go to customer information and go to the notifications tab, we can now see here the ticket numbers included. We have the ticket 20, 21, 18, and 19. And those tickets are actually the tickets included on the balance of $29.45. So technically, it will show all the details from the notification itself.
Perfect. Thank you. The next question is, for store credits, can we get a report for total score credit given and total scored credit applied?
Mhm. Yes, we have reports for those particular things that will show the total store credit given and applied. So let me show it to you. This can be accessed by the employee who has an access to the back office. So let's say I'll go to the back office part. I'll enter my PIN. I'll go to the report section. So all we have to do is to make sure that we indicate here what period you would like to see. So let's say I'm going to put here 2 months or 6 months, anything that you would like, and then go to customers. The report that you have to select is actually customer store credit. So if you generate this report, all right, it will show you the total store credit. And you can also have it on a CSV file wherein you can export from here, or an Excel file. Another thing that you can check under this report is actually the store credit log. So if you hit it from here, then it will show you the amount applied for those particular store credits together with the date, or the issued store credits and the date where it was issued.
Perfect, thank you. The next question is it necessary to have the same role in applying and issuing store credit?
Actually, for applying and issuing store credit, it's not necessary that you have the same role for those, because the owner, or as owners, we can decide on the restriction between those two different processes. So again, issuing store credit is totally different from applying store credit. So those two can be both different roles. It will depend on the store owner to decide.
Okay, great. The next question is, can we have it optional for the time card notes?
Yeah, for the time card notes, yes, this is definitely optional. So from here, if we will notice it right here, all right, since we have it mandatory, you can see here the note section on the time card. But if we don't have the setting applied, then it's not definitely like mandatory for you to have it. It's still gonna be up to you if you would like it or not.
Okay, the next question is, can we prevent customers from paying their orders before being picked up?
Yes, actually, that's right. We can apply a setting to allow payments only for orders after they have been picked up, or after they are out for delivery.
Okay, okay, we have two more questions. The first one is it mandatory to pay the order on the customer app at the moment of scheduling pickup, or can they have it after the order is detailed? Can we limit it for the payment to be done after the order is detailed on the store?
Well, Vali, this is actually a very nice question because this involves the 5 different version of the app. So for this one, if we are using version 4 or version 5, which are the options that allow the customer to detail the order, then we can force them to pay for the order on the checkout. All right. But if they are using like different versions, such as version 1, 2, or 3, all right, the order will be available to be paid for after being detailed at the store. All right. So again, if they have version 4 or version 5, then we can allow them to pay. If your customers want to pay for the order as soon as they submit them, then we can also apply a setting for that, and apply a setting if they only want to pay after pickup. Okay. Also, there is an exemption to this rule. It is when it's either they have like the driver tips or fees involved in version 3 and version 2, all right? The customer can also pay for them before being detailed.
Okay, thank you. And the last question we have is, can we have lockers and routes be configured on the store at the same time?
All right, yes. So for this one, I would like to show you the mobile app on this particular part. because from here we actually detail it, or we have the setting applied for both lockers and routes. So here, all right, you can see here drop locker. So you can use this to schedule together with the schedule pickup. And also, Vale, I know you noticed this before during the presentation. Just making sure that everyone is up and awake, all right? For the drop locker, like for scheduling drop lockers, special instructions, all right? Doorbell is actually not applicable for this. I just use that just to make sure everyone is awake during the presentation. So again, doorbells are not applicable for lockers. All right. So that is definitely not a special instruction for that.
Thank you, lady. Okay, that was our last question. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, lady, for your answers. I'll leave you to close this webinar.
All right. Yeah, again, we would like to thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined us this past year. Technically, this will be our last webinar for the year 2021. We are very grateful for all of you who joined us. Again, thank you so much for your time and for the dedication that you have with Enlight POS.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.